former Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila received a death sentence following a conviction on treason and war crimes charges. The sentence sparked mixed reactions among citizens. Some view the 54-year-old's punishment as justice. Others decry it as politically motivated, fueling tensions in a conflict-ravaged nation. But will the sentence succeed? And could this spark another wave of animosity in the Central African nation? Here is our cover report. Former Democratic Republic of Congo President Joseph Kabila was sentenced to death in absentia on September 30th by a military court that convicted him of war crimes, treason, and crimes against humanity. The case stems from his alleged role in backing the advance of Rwanda-backed M23 rebels in Congo's volatile east.
Make it right.
Kabila, who led Congo from 2001 to 2019, has denied wrongdoing and said the judiciary has been politicized. Lieutenant General Joseph Mutombo Katalai, presiding over the tribunal in Kinshasa, said Kabila was found guilty of charges that included murder, sexual assault, torture, and insurrection. Kabila did not attend the trial and was not represented by legal counsel. Neither he nor his representatives were immediately available for comment. His whereabouts were not immediately known.
In criminal participation with the AFC M23 coalition. To the question of whether there are mitigating circumstances in his favor, by majority vote of its members, the court answers no. Consequently, it condemns without admission of mitigating circumstances the accused to death for the war crime of intentional homicide or murder, to death for the war crime of rape.
We are satisfied because justice has been served. It is also the first time that a former president of the Republic finds himself in conflict with the interests of the Republic. That is why it was necessary to give the Congolese population, the Congolese people, the feeling that no impunity will be tolerated in this country anymore.
He was also ordered to pay around $50 billion in various damages to the state and victims. The verdict could fuel further divisions in the vast mineral-rich Central African nation that has endured decades of conflicts. Kabila spent almost 2 decades in power and only stepped down after deadly protests against him. Since late 2023, he has been residing mostly in South Africa, though he did appear in rebel-held Goma in eastern Congo in May. He entered into an awkward power-sharing deal with his successor, Felix Tshisekedi, but their relationship soon soured. As M23 marched on East Congo's second-largest city of Bukavu in February, Tshisekedi told the Munich Security Conference that Kabila had sponsored the insurgency.
The problem is President Felix. The solution is President Felix. Now, how do you understand that? How do you turn that left and right? Up to you. But critical decisions have to be made. And in critical times, you have to make critical decisions. And these are critical times for the Congo. But in as far as we are concerned, well, like I said, we intend to be very much involved in everything that's happening, especially in as far as peace is concerned.
M23 now controls much of North Kivu and South Kivu provinces. The fighting killed thousands and displaced hundreds of thousands more this year. The two sides signed a US-brokered peace agreement in June, although they're both reinforcing their positions and blaming one another for flouting the accord. Residents of Congo's eastern city of Bukavu, under rebel occupation since February, were dismayed that former President Kabila was sentenced to death in absentia.
I remind you that this trial has cost millions to the public treasury that they are trying to justify. We ask ourselves, If today Joseph Kabila Kabang is condemned, will this conviction end the war in eastern DRC? In other circumstances, we, as the population of the eastern part, would already want the organization of a truly inclusive dialogue that would bring everyone to the table so that we can achieve lasting peace. But we see that this regime always goes against the grain, in the sense of distracting the population, and that's how time passes.
Rwanda, which has long denied helping M23, says its forces act in self-defense against Congo's army and ethnic Hutu militiamen linked to the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Tshisekedi's government has moved to suspend Kabila's political party and seize the assets of its leaders. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.